Okay, we are back to it. So is rigid body 2D or 3D the right thing? There's also vehicle body 3D, which is interesting. This is says this physics body implements all the physics logic needed to simulate a car. It's based on the raycast vehicle system commonly found in physics engines. Assigned from collision shape 3D for the main body, you must also add a vehicle wheel 3D node for each wheel. Add a mesh instance 3D node to this node for the 3D model of the vehicle, but this model should generally not include meshes for the wheels. That's pretty cool. Now I want to actually... All right, so we're going to add a rigid body 3D. Will always maintain its shape and size even when forces are applied to it. It's useful for objects that can be interacted with in an environment, such as a tree that can be knocked over, or stack crates that can be pushed around. Maybe, let's say for now that Suzanne, our little model, is going to represent an enemy. So probably we want it to be a character body 3D. We'll create that, and it's gonna be okay. Yeah, motion mode grounded. What's it complaining about? It needs a collision shape 3D. Let's move Suzanne inside a character body 3D. Okay. I think that means I need to reset the transform position, and then we move character body 3D up. There we go. Okay. And then we needed some kind of collision shape, right? And then we need a shape. Now, a 3D convex polyhedron shape used for physics collision. Concave 3D trimesh shape used for physics collision. Which one? So concave has like divots in it, right? A convex shape doesn't have any divots in it, right? So what happens if we select concave, this thing, convex polyhedron shape 3D? We don't have any options, really? Interesting. How do you work? Yeah, there are no options. Okay. Is this something where like the mesh needs to be? Let's go look at documentation. Let's see. Okay, so I probably have a tab. I have many Godot docs tabs. Let's pick one and go to the manual. 3D. Procedural geometry, 3D text rendering optimization tools. Physical light and camera units, particle systems, 3D rendering limitations. Yeah, we'll get into all of this stuff eventually. I just want to know, maybe it's in physics. Here we go. Using character body 2D, 3D. And this is, yeah, so I've read this before. This focuses on character body 2D. Okay. Maybe in examples. No. Collision shapes 3D. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. So collision shapes. You can define the shape of a physics body 3D by adding one or more collision shape 3Ds as direct child nodes. Indirect child nodes will be ignored and won't be used. You must add a shape 3D resource to collision shape nodes in the inspector doc. So we've done that. When you add multiple collision shapes to a single physics body, you don't have to worry about them overlapping. They won't collide with each other. Okay. So there are primitive collision shape types. So box, sphere, capsule, cylinder. So we use like the capsule shape 2D and there are other 2D ones, but definitely the capsule one in the last project. Convex collision shapes. Compromise between primitive collision shapes and concave collision shapes. They can represent shapes of any complexity, but with an important caveat. As their name implies, an individual shape can only represent convex shape. A pyramid is convex, but a hollow box is concave. You might get better performance using multiple convex shapes. You gotta go? All right. Thanks for hanging out, Window. Use concave shapes instead. For large and complex objects, such as a whole level, you can generate one or several convex collision shapes from the editor. Oh, okay. You can generate one or several convex collision shapes from the editor by selecting a Mesh Instance 3D using the Mesh menu at the top of the 3D viewport. Okay. So, we don't need to put this in here like this. I think, is there... obviously this is, I mean, I don't know. Select a Mesh Instance 3D and use the Mesh menu at the top of the 3D viewport. Well, I don't have a Mesh menu at the top of the 3D viewport. Nor can I really, like, it's automatically imported, so it can't be modified. To make changes to a new inherited scene can be created. Just open anyway, right? And then we have these things. And these are Mesh Instance 3Ds, right? And there's a lightning camera in there. Let's, so I think one thing we can do for this, so I'm going to delete all of that and save that. Reload from disk. Open it anyway. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. And there's a mesh here, and we can create a collision shape. So I wonder, actually. So if I click here, select resource in the file system and inspector to adjust import settings. There we go. Okay. So interesting. We can import a Blender file as animation library or as a scene. Use node type. If true, use the suffixes in the node name to determine node types. Just call for collision shapes. Oh, interesting. So we could just... what does this do? Punctual lights. I don't know. Cameras? So I think this controls what we import. Skins, tangents, export, geometry, node instances, materials, animation. Import a skeleton bones, sure. Okay. I guess I was just hoping there was an option to have it automatically generate collision shape. Ooh, maybe under advanced. Okay. like scan tangents, export geometry. Oh, maybe this is what I need. Import. And then if I go back to here, open anyway. Do we see anything different? No. That's too bad. Collision shape 3D. Go. Ooh, maybe if I load. Nope. Let's just clear that and then quick load. Nothing. Huh. Okay, back to the docs. Let's see. No, we don't. Maybe file and data IO? No. Asset pipeline. There we go. Importing 3D scenes. Available 3D formats. So so the Blender import works by calling Blender to export to GLTF, which is their recommended format. Okay. Import configuration. So I think this is the thing that I checked. But no, that's not what I want. I don't remember it saying shadow meshes, but I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, create shadow meshes. So I just saw mesh wherever I was looking before. Trimming, remove immutable tracks. Okay. Import rest as. What's that do? If true, adds an animation named reset containing skeleton 3D.get bone rest. Okay, well, we don't have any skeleton stuff right now. Oh, no. So meshes export geometry. Let's try doing that. Okay. I go back to the scene. If I just open anyway, is there a thing in there now? No. I was really hoping. Quick load? Nothing. Okay. So maybe export geometry node instances is not what we need here. Back to the docs. Let's see. Use named skins. If checked, use named skins for animate. Interesting. Animation, import script, GLTF, FBX, advanced settings. Ooh. Wait. You can select individual nodes that compose the scene while in the scene tab using the tree view at the... Yeah. Oh. Right, we don't have this view because we're exporting from Blender. But this generate physics is interesting. Is that something that's... Maybe if I go into advanced. Oh, yeah, and we see this. Yeah. Physics on. Aha. Body type. I think static. There's no explanation here, but I think this will do what I want. So re-import that. Okay. And then when we go to the scene and we look at this and we open it anyway, then we have a static body 3D with a collision shape. I don't think that's what I want. About this for a sec. One, I think there's a way in Blender to like assign materials to different parts of the mesh without having to split it into separate meshes. But I don't remember how to do that. Just like drop the eyes. So we don't want the static option that I selected in the re-import is definitely wrong because we don't want that. It's interesting though. So that means that like we can just drop all of this, and then we go to import, we go to advanced for our Suzanne.blend, and then we go. So what I had done was I clicked on here. If I go to the whole scene. No, I can't. I don't have those same options here. It has to be on this. It'll be dynamic. Let's see what that does. Close that. Go back to the scene. Open anyway. Okay, so now we have collision shapes. Okay, that could be fine. Yeah, there we go. And there's Suzanne up there. So if I just run this, one, did I enable requested file format unknown blend? But it weird. Okay, it did run though. What's up with that message? Requested file format unknown blend. Cool. Cool. Godot. Requested blend. Okay. Well, tried it thinks. Oh, okay, yeah, so they tried just like exporting from Blender and then importing the GLTF file. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there about Godot from, 3.0, well, like basically old stuff, right? 2017. I might try. Shall we try just reloading the project? Let's close. Well, let's close this project. Reload current project. Sometimes that helps with weird issues. Okay, and then we run. Yes. Brilliant. Where are the eyes? Okay. Let me see if I can. So, the lighting is interesting, right? Because there is a light in the scene, or Omnilight 3D. Kind of weird that behavior is weird. Let's see. This is something, no, I mean, it's in the sphere of the light. I don't really know how the light works, but shadow mode? Shadow dual, parable void, shadows are rendered in a dual for light texture. Shadows are rendered to a cube map. Okay. Interesting. Size? Bake mode dynamic. What are options? Dynamic stack or disabled? Light is ignored when baking. This is the fastest mode, but the light will be taken into account when baking. Eliminate global illumination. Okay. Shadow. If true, the light will cast real-time shadows. Only enable shadow rendering when it makes noticeable difference in the scene's appearance, and consider using distance fade enabled to hide the light when far away. Okay, I wonder if this will help. That's interesting. Okay, I would say no, that didn't help. Distance fade, editor, visual instance 3D layer 1. What if we dial up the indirect energy? See what that does. I'm not convinced that's better. It's really interesting. What's going on with the lighting here? What if we... What does this do? It's just like increases the radius. Let's just dial up the radius and reset this. Try that. Hey, Ryder. Are you coding, son? Well, mostly messing around with 3D stuff here. I don't think we've written a line of code yet. Howdy. Yeah. Mostly just, I've never done, so this is, like the stream title says, this is my 16th day of doing stuff with Godot, but all the stuff prior to today has been 2D. Just like learning Godot with the 2D engine. And so today I decided we'd switch focus. We're going to eventually work on like a tower defense game, and it's going to be 3D. So I have Blender open, and I just used the default model of Suzanne here, and trying to make things work. So I think one thing I want to do is I'm gonna Control Z some stuff, because we're gonna bring this all back to how it was when it was just one mesh, because we lost the eyes anyway. And then I'm gonna save that. If I uncheck that, I wonder how that impacts the import here. Yeah, fancy. Yeah. Let's see. So we lost our. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow.
Riderman just followed.
So let's oh, I see. Oh, interesting. So I guess that means that the exporter uses the viewport subdivisions. Yeah, I guess so. That's weird. Okay, well, let's reload and see what this does. Interesting. Okay, so I'm really confused about what happened there and why that changed, but let's dial down the energy of the light. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try this. It's just like totally washed out. That's interesting. So we have this OmniLight 3D and so what does attenuation do? Controls the distance attenuation functions for OmniLights. 0 will maintain constant brightness throughout most of the range. So I think I want 0. Oops, 0. Just like even lighting. Yeah, hey Brainless, it is Suzanne, exactly. Just trying to figure out how to do basic things, like not have fully, like this should be just like environmental lighting is what I'm trying to have here, not like a spotlight. So I'm not sure why it is the way it is. Light's radius. Note that the effectively lit area may appear to be smaller depending on omni attenuation in use. No matter the omni attenuation in use, the light will never reach anything outside of this radius. Okay. So, I mean, this radius is probably fine then? Is there... So, maybe is the sprite 3D doing something weird? Where it's... Global illumination. What does this do? The global illumination mode to use for the whole geometry. To avoid inconsistent results, use a mode that matches the purpose of the mesh during gameplay. Static dynamic. Disable global illumination mode. Used for dynamic objects that do not contribute to global illumination, such as characters. Static. Global illumination mode. Used for static objects that contribute to global illumination, such as level geometry. So what was it before? Was it static? Okay. Dynamic. Disabled. Well, let's see. What does this do? How you doing, Brainless? Okay, that changed nothing. Okay, so we'll put it back to the way it was. What if I just like hide the floor? So it's invisible, but it's still there for physics purposes. Okay. What if I hide the light? Did I disable? Oh, I know what's happening. Doing well, just waking up and very cold. So we'll turn on the heater. How am I? Doing good. Doing good. I am looking forward to something that's happening later today. I'm going to go into Seattle. There is a Dimension 20, what's it called? Quangle Quest that I have tickets for. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a big event. Right, so in the import settings for the blend file, I think I need to turn off one thing, light baking. Configure the meshes geometry instance 3D.gi mode in the 3D scene. It sets a static light maps. Oh, okay. What if I just disable this? Can I also disable the importing of the... Just only import renderable things? Isn't there also a web conference happening there around these days? I don't know. Don't know. So what I think is happening right now is that we are importing the light from the Blender scene, even though I disabled it. Maybe not. Can we, let's see. I might be mistaken, just know there was a giveaway for a ticket on a stream. Sure. Don't know. Okay, well, that's cool. We can see in the preview the effect the light has. Let's see, if you look inside of the scene. Yeah, open anyway. Yeah, the light and camera are there. We don't want them there. Okay, I guess let's just do this. I'm gonna just delete the light and camera from the scene in Blender. And I will open anyway. Okay, so then when we go here, there's no longer a light or a camera. And that's fixed our weird issue with the ears being lit up. Okay, so what does this look like? Requested file format unknown blend. We saw that before. I think reloading the project fixed that. I wonder if there's something else we can do here. What if we...
What this means is if you take
it doesn't...
time and plan things
oh, it went away.
make sure that you are set
okay,
up
that's fine.
But
what's with the lack of lighting on the mesh? I would like to figure that out. Because when we... So my intention right now is we're going to probably scale down this model, and we're going to create a thing where we're going to spawn in a bunch of Suzannes, and those are going to be the stand-in for the enemies. We'll, I guess I'll give them, like, legs or something to stand on. How's that going to work? Don't know. Yeah. And then we'll have them spawn in, and they'll be able to, like, pathfind or something. That's kind of where we're going to go with this, right? So we're just going to have a big floor. And then they will be able to spawn in, and they'll like pathfind from where they spawn to a destination. I would like to see that, and that'll be the basis for our tower defense game. Enemies spawn in a location, they work towards another location, and then we'll add the ability to place obstacles that will be able to either route the enemies or attack them, and then we'll add the ability to like for the enemies to attack the defenses and those sorts of things. So that's kind of the path that I'm thinking of for this. But first I need to figure out why things are the way they are. Do we think it's an import thing? Something that I did here. Create shadow meshes. If true, enables the generation of shadow meshes on import. This optimizes shadow rendering without reducing quality. I turned something else off. Light baking. Maybe this should be dynamic. What's that look like?
Then you'll be able to rely on this thing for years to come.
Seems like no. Maybe I should dial up the lighting. I did turn it way down while I was trying to troubleshoot things, so let's turn it back up and see if that makes a difference. Like, is the light... No. What is size here? Size of the light in Godot units. Increase the value, make the light fade out slower and shadows appear blurrier. What if we just increase this? What if I also, at least temporarily, move this object down? Yeah. Can we also change the view? View settings? No. What's this button? Toggle preview sunlight. If a directional light 3D node is added to the scene, preview. Okay. Toggle preview environment. Aha. Okay. Interesting. Why? Why is it the way that it is? Let's get rid of the Omni light and do something else. What was this saying about the sun? Directional light 3D. So let's add a directional light 3D. Okay. A directional light is a type of light 3D node that models an infinite number of parallel rays covering the entire scene. So yeah, it's like sunlight. so we might move this way, and then rotate this way, and then up. And then I've realized I've made a mistake by rotating it that way first. Let's turn this way, and down, back. Oh, not that way. This way? Yeah, something like that. Okay, what does that look like? Better or worse? Yeah. All right, I'm happy. Okay. So the floor is kind of annoying to look at. Let's change the texture. This is the let's see here. No, I didn't want viewport texture. I want just boop, 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 boop. I guess I want placeholder. Can I change the color? Ooh. There we go. Okay, that helps a little bit. So now each pixel is 1 meter. Oh, right, because I have the scale set. Okay, so let's then reset the scale. Okay, it's all making sense. It's all making sense now. So let's put this at like 0.1 meters. And then we will set this to be like, I don't know, 1,000 or yeah, 1,000 by 1,000. There we go. All right. The collision shape needs to be scaled out to match. Yeah. What is a world boundary shape? A 3D world boundary half-space shape used for physics collision. Interesting. Interesting. Neat. Okay, I think I want to kind of, let's do maybe 100 by 100. Where is the actual, okay, there we go. So not quite right. Oh, we can't click. Oh, we can. Okay, cool. It's kind of slow. I'm not sure how we ended up with 170 in each direction, but that looks right. Let's scale down Suzanne a little bit here. So we're just doing that through this. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. All right, we have a plane. We have an object. It has physics. what happens? How does any of this work? So let's open this. Yeah. So this is a rigid body 3D. Interesting. I don't think that's what I want here. Okay, so let's look at the import details. We'll go back to advanced. Let's see what we can do with this. Right, so we have this. We turned on physics generate. And then we said body type is dynamic. We have automatic shape type selection. Interesting. Meshes. And there's our material. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm thinking about here is just that I guess I don't want body type. Like, I can't select and I don't think I would want to select a character body 2D because I'd want to be able to attach a script to it, right? So this feels like something where I want to just like not have physics on, but I do want to generate the what does this do? Nothing helpful. Hear a smoke alarm going off in the other room, but I think it's fine. Yes, the alarm was silenced. All right, it's fine. This is fine. So did changing this to dynamic light baking do anything for us? What if I just hit disable? Let's re-import, see what that does. I guess... yeah, that's normal. And we don't fall. Yeah, I don't think the... Okay, so let's proceed from here, right? So we'll go back to the main scene. So Suzanne now is this node 3D that has... our mesh instance 3D inside of it. I'm starting to suspect that this workflow is not going to actually work. Is there a way to import without the root node? Root type. Override for the root node type. If empty, the root node will use what the scene specifies or node 3D. Using a node type that inherits from node 3D is recommended, otherwise you'll lose the ability to position the node directly in the 3D editor. So, oh, and I can just select a node. So I guess, can I just select a character body 3D and re-import? Ooh. And it has, neat. Okay. So in that case, this node has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. But there's a collision shape 2D, 3D there. Oh, right, but it's not directly under the root node. Let's do let's go to advanced. All right, so root type, character body 3D. Root name, I'm gonna ignore. If we go down into here, turn physics on. Turn physics off. Still not gonna work. What if at this level we change the root type? Can we just import the mesh instance 3D? Just import it as that? Yes. Okay. And then I'll manually add the character body 3D. Create. No, not inside of there. Put that inside of there. And then add the collision shape. Probably, yeah, it's right there. Okay. And then when we open this, we can go to mesh and we can create the collision shape. Mesh is empty. Ah. Yeah, open it anyway. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we have a mesh instance 3D with the mesh instance 3D inside of it. Okay, so that didn't work. Shall we try again? Let's just delete this node. Yep. We'll go to here. We'll click import. We'll click advanced. Okay, back to the docs. Back to the docs. Like, I would like the import of this file just to import the mesh instance. Oh, using import scripts for automation. You can choose to import only animations from GLTF file and nothing else is used for some asset pipelines to distribute animations separately from models. Okay. Probably come back to that later. Filter script. Storage optimizer, scene inheritance. In many cases, it may be desired to make manual modifications to the imported scene. It's possible to make local modifications by using scene inheritance. If you try to open the imported scene, yeah, we've seen this dialogue a number of times. New inherited. So maybe that's what I need to be doing to get the outcome that I want. Let's try that. Right? So, I think this should then be character body 3D as the root node. We can disable light baking. I don't think that wasn't a necessary thing. And then I'm going to delete this. We're going to add this to the scene. We are going to open an editor. That's interesting. There we go. Okay, new inherited. Okay. So now we have our inherited scene that's presumably inherited from the thing that was imported from our blend file. And we need a collision shape 3D. We need to take this mesh and create a collision shape that is going to be a sibling. Let's see. Simplified convex. Oh, there we go. Okay, so then we get rid of this. Let's rename this. So it creates the collision shape with the shape inside of it. Okay. And this we can't really change because we're inheriting it. So then if I save this, this is going to be enemy. And then I remove that node and we add the enemy. And we drag it up a little bit. Okay. So it should have. Oh, right. It's not going to fall because it's a character body 2D now, right? It's not a like a rigid body or whatever. It is a proper character body 2D, which means we need to make a script so we can finally write some code. And what is the code going to do? I had to figure something out. Let's attach a script. We'll use the we'll just use the basic movement template. We'll create this Godot script. And we're finally in VS Code. Yeah, I trust me. Okay. So, what are we doing? Well, I guess for a start, we can actually just we'll take the template. I know this is called the enemy right now, but we'll be able to control this. Let's see what this does. Oh right, so we would need. There we go. Okay, so we have arrow-based controls, and we can jump. All right, amazing. Great success. What does this have to do with a tower defense game? Well, you know, we have the ability to put a 3D model into a space with a floor, with collision, and the ability to move it around. So that's pretty good. So what next? Well, I think what we need is to figure out. I know there's like path stuff, right? Contains a curved 3D path for path follow 3D nodes to follow. That's not what I'm looking for. Path follow 3D. Interesting. Okay, to the docks. Like, I know there is like pathfinding stuff baked into Godot. It's not going to be under physics, is it? Nah. Navigation. There we go. 3D navigation overview. Godot provides multiple objects, classes, and servers to facilitate grid-based or mesh-based navigation and pathfinding for 2D and 3D games. So I take grid-based versus mesh-based to be whether or not we are navigating in across a terrain where there are obstacles versus like pathfinding through like a 3D space, like in like a space something or other, or something where you're moving in 3 dimensions, like if you know something where you're flying or in space or something like that. So there's A-Star 3D. Provides an option to find the shortest path and a graph of weighted points. Best suited for cell-based 3D gameplay, doesn't require actors to reach any possible position within an area, but only predefined distinct positions. That's kind of true. Like there will be like a place that the AI is trying to get to. Navigation Server 3D provides a powerful survey API to find the shortest path between two positions on an area defined by a navigation mesh. 3D real-time gameplay does require actors to reach any possible position within a navigation mesh defined area. Shortest path and a graph of weighted points. It's interesting. I guess we would have to build that. Interesting. All right. Well, Twitch is going to want to run ads again. So we're going to take a brief pause here for a few minutes and then come back and we'll do some more investigation into how to do pathfinding with Godot. So I'll be right back.